Well, very good. So let's get started. Thank you everybody um, for joining us today. I'm very excited about this field residential course that we have planned. We are it will be, of course, to Uganda, as everyone knows, and it's going to take place at the end or next June and July. And we are very lucky to have with us Dr. Anthony Kadoma and Freyo Kafyalew. I can't say your last name. I'm sorry, Freyo.
Don't worry. I rarely get it right. So
I started going into it, and I was like,
it's a tongue twister. It's a tongue twister.
Um, so we're very fortunate to have with us Anthony and Freyo. Um, let's see, should be over. Here we go. Um, So Anthony is a graduate of Future Generations University. He was with he was a master student with us in the early 2010s, and has gone on to earn his doctorate. And I will let him talk a little bit more about his background. And Freyo has been affiliated with the university for a long time. He has taught several courses with us, has led he led the last what were called then sort of residentials, because they were long periods of time in spent in a country or in an area. And Freyo has led those, has taught many courses. So we're very fortunate to have both of them here. Uganda, as I think they'll say, as they'll tell you, we have been to Uganda before as a university, but never in this format. So I'm very excited that we're doing this. I'm thrilled that Anthony and Freyo are both available to work with us on this program. Um, so I will hand it over to Anthony and Freyo. And when you're ready for me to change slides, just let me know and I'll do it.
I will ask Anthony to lead. I mean,
Yes.
he's been on the
Yeah. So Anthony,
driver's seat
if you
before.
can take over, please do.
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm in a mixed place. I'm on the way. I won't be able to show my face. Maybe at a later time, I will be able to do that. My apologies.
Okay. So are you not able to see the screen?
I'm able to see the screen.
Okay.
Yes, so we can work with that. That's fine. I will be telling you when to move on. I don't know how much time I have to go through the presentation before Firew come in.
If I think if we can do the screens in about if we can do the slides in about 15 to 20 minutes, that will give time for questions at the end.
That's good. Thank you, Chris.
Yes.
Once again, good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. And indeed, as the screen is showing, it says, welcome to Uganda Field Course. My name is Anthony Kadoma, and I'm a graduate of 2013. That's when I graduated. And I'm happy to be coming back again to the school, and now this time making a presentation as a part of both faculty and also an alumni. So for purposes of general information, if you have never been to Uganda or heard about Uganda, Uganda is found in the East African region of the African continent, and it borders with Kenya in the east, with Sudan in the north, and the Democratic Republic of Congo in the west, and then Tanzania and Rwanda in the south. So Uganda is part of the Great Lakes region. So that is where we are located geographically. We are a landlocked country, but we make all our travels through either Kenya to access the ocean or Tanzania. Would you go to the next slide, please? So, Uganda is a very blessed country with a lot of tourism potential. Actually, some people have called Uganda like the Garden of Eden because we have all the major tourist attractions. We have got several national parks, and our national parks are full of giraffes. We have leopards. We've got gorillas, rhinos, zebras, several antelopes, and a lot of bird watching, which goes on in the country with over 300 species of birds. So this is a snapshot of what you are likely to see when you are here with us. So we have a great tourism potential, and if you are one of those that are interested in seeing the wildlife, I can promise you right away that if time allows and resources, you won't be disappointed. So that was just helping in the painting a true picture of this great nation. Next, please. Next slide. So I will briefly talk about the course overview. I may not be the best person to talk about this. People have heard about these courses, not once, not twice. But maybe basically what I can talk about is that this course's name is called Community Development in Uganda, and that is its course number. And we are planning to have it between the 28th of June and the 12th of July 2026, and it will carry 2 to 3 credits. When we look at the course in terms of what we are likely to learn, we will be definitely introduced about the everyday effort of Ugandan citizens in trying to improve their lives and living standards. We will also learn about the several efforts that our governments over the years have put in place to ensure that the country develops, because at the moment we are still regarded as a third world country, but several efforts have been taken by our governments over the years to ensure that that changes, but it hasn't changed. So we'll be able to discuss and present before the people who will come what those efforts are, and maybe we can hear from them what they will share with us or what is happening in their own respective countries, and we can compare and contrast and share knowledge and experiences. Next slide, please. So we will also do some work with the environmental protection because Uganda is still considered as one of the green countries with some forests, and have been making a lot of debate and discussion about the green economy and the climate change. So we have instances where we will be introduced to aspects of environmental conservation at community level. We will also try to present before you different cultures. Uganda is a country that is blessed with over 56 different tribes, and each tribe basically has its own culture, even when we have some which are dominant and some which are minor. But I can promise you that during your stay here, you will be introduced to a cocktail of culture in terms of music, dance, drama, and other traditions as time will allow. So come prepared either to get culture shock or to enjoy a culture that quite resembles to what you know or what you already have in your place. We will also have time to reflect on what is happening between Uganda and your own country. And definitely, we are hoping, because we are a developing country with a lot that needs to be done. At the moment, I don't know where all the students will be coming from and the different expertise that you have. But we hope that at the end of the course, if you can make some practical recommendations on what, from your point of view, needs to be done to improve our standards of living and also to maintain a human nature balance. That will be a very big contribution of your visit to our country and also to yourself and the course. Next slide, please. So to be able to achieve all those that I have just mentioned, we will have a chance to walk, to interact, to participate and engage in different activities. You will interact with the everyday Uganda smallholder farmers, women groups, youth, communities. You will travel on the road, you will observe, you will cross rivers, and you will have an opportunity to interact with everyday person so that your experience is not only informed by what you hear from me or other experts or Firew, but also from the everyday Ugandan. We will visit some organizations, some community-based organizations, and also selected institutions which are both private and public. So basically, a little bit about how this will be run. We will have a pre-trip session, preferably in June, which will be giving you more information about the site. We will also have a post-trip session where we'll be narrating and explaining your learnings, and we'll also have to share a detailed course syllabus prior to your coming into the country. Next slide, please. So basically, these are the tentative dates. We expect you to come in by 28th of June and be with us until the 12th of July. And when you come in, we will definitely start, because Uganda has only one international airport, that is Entebbe International Airport. And for those who will come in by air, you will all arrive at the airport. And then between the 28th and the 3rd of July, you will be in and around campus visiting organizations around here. Then from the 3rd to the 5th, we will have a trip to go to eastern Uganda and a little bit of northern Uganda through Jinja. And in Jinja, we will basically have a look at the source of the Nile. And for your information, the Nile is considered the largest river in Africa, and I think the second longest, not the largest, the longest river in Africa, and the second longest river in the world, because it moves all from Uganda through South Sudan to Northern Sudan and then to Egypt up until to the Mediterranean Sea. So you will get a chance to see the source of this great river. And then we'll go to Lira, where we'll visit some cultural kingdom and institution, and then we'll proceed to Gulu, where we'll meet with one of our other alumni in Uganda, and he has a cocktail of activities which we'll be able to do between the 5th and the 8th. And then we'll be able to travel back to Kampala, do other remaining activities, and we hope by the 12th, all of us will be done and will be planning to go back home. And next slide, please. So I'm going to briefly talk about these suggested organizations which we will visit, but I'm sure Firew will be able to put emphasis on some of them since he understands them better than myself, Sam. So the first organization we have put forward where we shall be able to visit is called the International Institute for Rural Construction, or IIR Uganda. And this organization, we've selected it because it strives to achieve the mission of empowering rural people to build resilient communities and also to help members attain socioeconomic equity. So since our course, or the future generation approach, is really centers around community empowerment and people empowerment. So we hope during the day when we visit IIRR, you'll be able to have hands-on experience and you'll hear stories that will resonate well with what else you have been studying in your course. And next slide, please. So we also thought that since some of you are focusing on the health, we will have an element of community health where we will visit one of the community health centers called Komamboga, which is within Kampala. It was in the Kampala suburbs, and we'll be able to see firsthand how a community health facility is run, is managed. You will observe, you will interact, and also have an opportunity to interact with community members to see how the different approaches the community is using to ensure that public health of the people in Kampala and the neighboring communities is improved. I'm assuring you, we have one of our alumni called Margaret. She works from the same hospital, so she will give us a good orientation on what happens, and will be able to ask all the questions that you have. Next slide, please. Myself and my PhD was in environmental sustainability. So we hope, if time allows, we'll be able to visit one of the communities that is depending on the existence of a wetland. So we will have time to visit either Lutembe wetland or Mabamba wetland. And both wetlands are wetlands of international importance. That means they are listed on the Ramsar list of important wetlands. But what is key on these wetlands is the role that community members play in their protection. As you will hear when you are here, there is a lot of conflict that is going on between people, between development and nature conservation. So a lot of efforts and a lot of work is being done to ensure that these wetlands are protected and the environment in general is protected, so as to keep our lakes, our rivers, and access to water at household and industrial level in place, because the more the environment, and particularly the wetlands and forests, are destroyed, the more difficult it comes for people who are depending on subsistence farming or subsistence agriculture. So we'll have a debate or a discussion about what is being done, what needs to be done, or what has already been done to conserve and protect our environment as a country. Next slide, please. While in Gulu, which is part of the northern Uganda that has been engulfed in over 20 years of internal resistance and conflict and wars, Gulu region or Gulu city is like the center of healing, the center of reflection, the center of peace building in the whole of Africa. And when we are there, we'll be able to visit several organizations, both private and public, that are making efforts to ensure that there is peace. And then the people who have gone through traumatic experiences have got the services that can help them to recover and make positive contributions to their community and their household. So there is an organization called Thrive Gulu, and it is one of those organizations that will be able to visit and learn from many of the most important works that it engages on with the community and the city dwellers. Next slide, please. So in the shortest time, and given the time that I was given, that's all I've been able to say, but I will end with one word in summary, that for those of you who will come, and I really encourage everyone to come, you will learn that Uganda is indeed truly the pearl of Africa, as was once stated by Sir Winston Churchill, who was one of the former colonialists. So Uganda is a beautiful country. It is a country with the youngest population, I think, in the world, where over 50% of our population are below the age of 25. So please come and you will be able to learn more. You will be able to relate with the young population, and you will see and learn about a lot of efforts that the country is taking to ensure that we live and move away from this from this least developed country into at least a middle development economy, which is an aspiration of our country by 2040 or 2030. So next slide.
And the
Thank you
next
so
slide
much.
is me. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Anthony. Appreciate it. I think it's going to be a wonderful course, and um, obviously we are, we are early, still in the early stages of of building it. I think Anthony's got some amazing. Yeah, it's Anthony. You might want to go on mute, or I can mute you. Hold on. There we go. Um, He's got some great ideas. I think it's going to be a wonderful trip. As all of our field courses, it's going to be busy. And that's the point. As that's the first bullet point here is this is a course. It's not a tourism trip. You will see some things that tourists see and do, but it is primarily a course. And so coursework is required in order to earn credit. And importantly, all participants must take the course for credit. You can't just go and audit the course. At the beginning, you saw that this course is you can earn 2 or 3 credits for the course. And that sort of depends on what you need, how many credits you need in your path through the master's program. So if you only need 2 credits, then you'll do the online work ahead of the course, and you'll actively participate in the course in Uganda. And then there'll be a third credit that happens that you get at the end of the course, and that's usually something along the lines of taking what you've learned during the field course and um, either applying it or working out a plan on how you would apply those lessons in your own community, in your own country. Um, so again, you can take the course for 2 credits or 3 credits. And the cost is the same as a regular 2 or 3 credit course. So if you're taking it for 2 credits, that's 800 bucks, 800 US dollars a credit. That's $1,600. 3 credits is $2,400, um, minus any scholarship that you are receiving. So whatever you pay for a course at Future Generations is what you pay for this course. Travel costs starting and ending at Entebbe International Airport. Those are I'm sorry, travel costs starting and ending there. So once you land in the country, everything is taken care of. You are responsible for your travel costs to and from Uganda, including passport and visa, that sort of thing. That's all on you. But travel within Uganda, accommodations, meals, most meals, some meals are unscheduled so that you can explore on your own, but we always plan those in places where you are able to explore on your own. If, if you're in a place where there's no other place to eat, then except for maybe a restaurant and a hotel or something, then those are all on us. Again, just about everything is included. Finally, accommodations are in shared rooms. If you want to have a private room, let us know ahead of time. There'll be an extra charge for that. But keep in mind that not all locations will be able to accommodate a single room. So even if you pay to be in a single room, there may be nights where you're asked to share. Um, so that's it. If you have any questions, now would be a great time to ask. But if you don't want to ask a question right now, or you come up with a question later on, feel free to email us. Here are our email addresses on the screen right now. If you're not listening through your phone, you can take a picture, or just email me. I think everyone has access to my email or can figure it out pretty easily. But also Anthony and Freyo's emails are up there. So if you have any questions, go ahead and you can either put them in the chat or you can um, raise your hand and I hopefully will see it. And if I don't, maybe someone can tell me if you see a hand raised. Any questions? Am I seeing a hand? Looks like Freya has left. Daniel, I see that you have raised your hand. You can go and unmute. Yep. Yep, you can go ahead and I can't you can go ahead and talk, Daniel.
Thank you so much. Daniel is my name, and I'm really excited for this field course in Uganda, especially at the time when I'm still a student here. So Daniel Walem is my name, and I'm from Uganda, the northeastern part of Uganda, and I'll be happy to join this trip. I think my more of maybe comment is on learning from the previous field course uh, that I attended in India. Most of the colleagues wanted to learn more about Uganda, especially how Uganda picked up from, the colonial history, especially after, the popular India Independence. I think it was one of the biggest questions that I answered every time I introduced myself as from Uganda. So the students asked, "So how did you manage? How did the country pick up after this?" I think maybe incorporating ability one of the lessons that probably provides you to help to answer a number of questions. How countries pick up from the different kind of historical backlog.
Um, Daniel, it seemed like the audio was a little hard to hear. I heard that you said you were from Uganda, but I couldn't actually um, couldn't understand your question. Was someone else able to get the question? If not, Daniel, would you
Yeah,
be able to? Oh, could you hear it, Anthony?
yes, I picked the biggest part of the question, and what he was saying is that during his last residential course in India, many of his colleagues were talking about Idi Amin and how the country survived or escaped his rule. So he
Mm.
was suggesting that if it is possible within our course outline, we could have a topic on how Uganda emerged after the fall of Idi Amin, and that would help answer many of his colleagues' questions which they were asking him. So in short, he was making a suggestion.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you, Anthony, for being able to hear that. That's great.
Yeah.
Um, any other questions? Okay, well, hearing or seeing none, I guess we'll go ahead and end this. But again, if anyone has any questions, you have our emails up there on the screen, and we'll be happy to answer them. And we'll be sending out more information as as we sort of build up and finalize the details of the program. Currently, the website is pretty basic, but we'll be adding to that, and over the next several weeks and couple of months, we will um, we will need to have a deadline for registrations, probably around May 1st. And we'll also finalize that. We'll have that listed up on the website. But it would be great if you can be thinking of, if you are interested, be thinking about that so that you can let us know by May 1st if you're planning on joining the course. So with that, thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you everybody for taking the time to listen, to join, and um, yeah, I'm excited about this, and thanks so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris, also for the opportunity to speak to the colleagues. And I'm sorry in case I spoke very fast, but I hope I was audible enough for members to follow. And I once again take the opportunity to welcome you to Uganda, whereby you will not only visit, as Chris emphasized, but also have a great learning experience.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Anthony. It was very your presentation was very clear. It was very good. Thank you so much. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.